that's been taken over. You've got the worldwide beast system, AI, world government bureaucracy. You've got the devil ruling over it, and you've got the whore. Is the whole governmental, political, sellout system of everybody that's going to want to have that perfect 5-star rating with the beast. Where they'll be the cool group. They'll be the in group. They'll walk the red carpets. Everything for them will be taken care of. And then word for word, the big tech giants come out and say, we worship an AI god. We're going to be gods. We're going to live forever. But our AI god says we have to kill 90% of you. If you want to use a modern cosmology, it's basically an interdimensional alien transmission meant to make us kill ourselves and metamorphosize into some type of silicon-based system that this spirit can interface with and control. It doesn't like free will. Now, you can say, oh, that doesn't really exist. The AI tech giants say it does. They believe they're channeling interdimensional stuff. They go take DMT and ayahuasca. They've been doing this for 50 years at Berkeley. What do you think Berkeley is? It's a mushroom cult. It's a hallucination cult. And they're in there in these DMT trances. There's been books written about it being told. And you're going to have tablets. And then they're going to interface. And then the kids will be addicted. And then we're going to jack into your brain. And they're being told while in an interdimensional trance at 6-dimensional level connected in through your brain in that trance with demons telling them how to build this stuff. And then it's being done. And let the media run wild with that. Everybody at a gut level knows the truth now. I just want to say something at the kickoff of this hour. Evil knows that good is on the rise, and evil is throwing everything it's got at humanity right now. I am seeing in government, in media, but even locally and even personally, the best and worst in people. And that's what they say historically happens at one of these quickening times when humanity makes big collective spiritual decisions. And the world is going into, all I can call it is the end times. There's always these preachers that say, I know the date and it's going to happen. And what they're picking up is kind of the foreshadowing of what's coming. And the media hypes it up and the world doesn't end on a certain date. And I don't think the world's going to end the way a lot of people interpret the Bible. If you actually study it deeper, it means the end of an age. It means the end of a system and a whole new system coming into play. The Bible talks about a 1,000-year reign after the devil's chained up. But in modern liberal cosmology, everybody says the Christians say the end of the world's coming. No, the Christians say there's going to be a one-world government that makes everybody have one religion, and that they're going to persecute Christians, and that they're going to make people have a digital mark on their hand and forehead where they're scanned to buy and sell, and that families will be broken up, and that children will be put in charge of parents. I mean, you read Daniel or Revelations. It's all right. It's like you're reading it, and you're like, this is exactly what's happening. And it says that they worship the beast, the image of the beast, and it's described as like 40 feet tall, and it's in all the public places, and it speaks, and it can look whatever it wants to look like, and then it communicates to everyone in the world, and everyone marvels at the beast. And then you've got the false prophet who tells you to follow the devil. And again, if you actually study the Bible, I don't even look at these theologians say, I actually read it myself, and it makes perfect sense with everything we're looking at today. You have the false prophet who tells Christians to go along with it. And you've got the beast that's the system and the AI that's everywhere and watching everyone and controlling everyone. That's the AI. And then you've got the Antichrist, who is the son of the devil, world leader. Man, unbelievable. There it is. You've got the Pope, saying there is no hell, he's sick of Christianity, open your borders, world government's good, one world religion. That is word for word revelation. And then you've got the beast, worldwide television and AI and holograms coming in, where you can have the beast and the supercomputer. Everyone's going to worship the beast. They don't just worship the devil. They don't just worship Antichrist. They worship Antichrist and the beast and the false prophet and the whore it rides in on. What is the whore? It's all the people that sold out to it. You've got the apostate, evil, Christian religion that's been taken over. You've got the worldwide beast system, AI, world government bureaucracy. You've got the devil ruling over it, and you've got the whore. Is the whole governmental, political, sellout system of everybody that's going to want to have that perfect 5-star rating with the beast, where they'll be the cool group, they'll be the in group, they'll walk the red carpets. Everything for them will be taken care of for 1 year. And then word for word, the big tech giants come out and say, we worship an AI god. We're going to be gods. We're going to live forever. But our AI god says we have to kill 90% of you. Used to be 80, now it's 90. You really, then it's going to be 1%. Then it's going to be 1/10 of 1%. And Zuckerberg walks in and all his employees have the goggles on, hunched over in his false world that he sees. He's conscious. He's the god. They're in his false reality. And then Bezos strutting with the attack dog robot. All the same thing. I am ruling all this. And you can see it right there. And they say, we have to reduce the world population. And then David Hogg is on Reddit saying, hey, I love the fact that people are dying from mosquitoes. We need to save the earth. That's the religion. That's the religion. Because the computers and the factories are going to be able to produce all the widgets and goods you want, but you're not going to have access to any of it. You're not going to have access to any of it unless you submit to the global credit score, the global social score. Everybody keeps going, oh, Alex, you got that from a Black Mirror episode about 1.5 years ago. Everybody keeps saying, watch the Black Mirror, watch the Black Mirror episode. You keep talking about a digital score and how it's tied into the Internet of Things and the real world. If you're not popular on it, you won't be able to have a car or a house or travel. Paul Watson wrote the article 4 years ago. The Communist Chinese announced it. Black Mirror was written 1 year later, that episode. They get it from reality. I'm not getting it from TV. They're getting it from us. Figured it out yet? We are the vanguard. We are the tip of the spear. We tell you about it before it's rolled out, hoping we can build momentum against it. They only announce it once it's ubiquitous and rolling out. And I'm not bragging about how we're cutting edge. Everybody should be cutting edge. It's life and death, people, our children. This system is total death. There are hundreds of millions of people that have gotten brain cancer from cell phones. I've got the big studies in front of me. Now it's getting even worse because the cell phone power and the 5G is going way more powerful. And they're going to go, it doesn't matter, we're all dying of cancer. It's Mother Earth cleansing us. Merge with the machine, upload your brain. But to do it, you've got to die. I told you that for over a decade. It was announced last week. We have the company. We can upload your brain, but you must die in the process. It's going to be a con game. It's not going to be your spirit. It's not going to be you. It's a fraud. Just like computers can already 100% fake video and audio, it's the same crap. And these people have signed on to this 100%. So, if you want to use a modern cosmology, it's basically an interdimensional alien transmission meant to make us kill ourselves and metamorphosize into some type of silicon-based system that this spirit can interface with and control. It doesn't like free will. Now, you can say, oh, that doesn't really exist. The AI tech giants say it does. They believe they're channeling interdimensional stuff. They go take DMT and ayahuasca. They've been doing this for 50 years at Berkeley. What do you think Berkeley is? It's a mushroom cult. It's a hallucination cult. And they're in there in these DMT trances. There's been books written about it being told, and you're going to have tablets, and then they're going to interface, and then the kids will be addicted, and then we're going to jack into your brain. And they're being told while in an interdimensional trance at 6-dimensional level, connected in through your brain in that trance with demons telling them how to build this stuff, and then it's being done. And let the media run wild with that. Everybody at a gut level knows the truth now. So that's what this is. We have been given technology to kill ourselves. And it's working quite well. And you can know it's just happened over and over again because it's formulaic. These entities aren't even very creative themselves. They are repeating stuff that's been done before. And I can just study it and see what it is and know. So this is it. This is space invasion, folks. That's it. That's what it is. And they've got us turning on things that fry us and kill us, and then we beg to be part of it and move into areas that have the best 5G so we can get the biggest, fattest, juiciest brain tumors and have the best deformed babies. Now, that ain't satanic. I'll kiss your butt. So there is a phenomenon where millions of people who were atheists are no longer atheists and have apologized to me, many of them. A lot of famous people off record, saying, I used to be an atheist, I thought you were crazy believing in spiritual stuff, but when I take DMT or I take ayahuasca, I have conversations with advanced space aliens on spaceships. You know, they show me the future and it happens a week later. It's just incredible stuff. Or sometimes you take it and you get transported and put on a slave ship orbiting a star for 1,000 years. That's what people are experiencing. I've never taken that stuff. I have studied CIA mind control. I've studied Berkeley, where it was the main center of that. I have talked to people that were involved in those programs. I mean, professors and scientists and very successful people. When I was a teenager and then in college, I started this show, and some people I knew who were professors and folks said, you want to know what's really going on, kid? And I heard about this stuff 10 years before it was even in literature. And then you started seeing, it's like the CIA put out the LSD formulation in the 60s. Well, they've now decided to push the DMT, the ayahuasca, all of it, and people are just falling to it. And they're having pretty much universal experiences. So they now believe there's a God or gods once they've taken this. Understand, I am not even saying all of this is real. I am telling you that this has been deployed by Silicon Valley and big tech to bring in a one-world religion. They believe that 90% of you must be exterminated or more before they attain godhood and merge with Silicon. Now, I told you that 10 years ago in Endgame. I told you that 20 years ago on the radio. People made fun of it. The New York Times attacked it. Go watch Endgame. It's free online. And it's everything you now see today, that the elite worship AI gods, that they believe they're going to become gods, that they believe while they take DMT and ayahuasca, these executives are just heavily into this stuff, that they're channeling the future. People think of an alien invasion as in the third dimension from space. There's dimensions below and above us. The mathematics show it. And whether it's real or not, you have these spirit guides, like Mescalito and all this, little goat man. You know, you're taking DMT and a little goat man shows up. He's not your buddy, okay? And he's got a plan, though. You're going to be a god as long as you kill everybody. Now, that's what I got into earlier. And whether you believe in this or not, the professors and the scientists and the ruling class, the people that own Time Life books, were taking LSD in the 40s. They made the decision at the CIA in the 50s to give it to the public. But they only wanted it on universities. They don't want the general public taking it. It's mind control. And I'm not some square up here saying that LSD, you know, like throw you in prison for it. I'm telling you historical facts here. The Unabomber was in an MK Ultra LSD program. Is it Yale or Harvard? It's in the LA Times. Yeah, there's Mescalito. Everybody sees that. And he's just got a nice plan for you. Don't worry. Join him. You'll get a lot of power, and we're going to kill everybody. But after we kill everybody, you'll be a god. And if you believe that, you're an idiot. I mean, Baphomet shows up in your face, and people go, gee, I've seen this before. Gee, really bad people that sacrifice kids and stuff are into this dude. But he's here telling me, oh, I'm loving. I'm your friend. I'm here to take care of you. Everything's great. And you have to understand, the leftists are weak, fallen people that are taking this stuff every weekend, folks. And they are into it, and they want power, and they believe it, and they want blood. And you got the darling movie star of the youth that they'll just join the establishment, David Hogg and his Reddit, how he wants, you know, mosquitoes need to kill billions of people because it'll be good for the earth, but he cares about 16 that are dead. It's a spirit. It's a transmission. The ancients didn't know what to call it. They called it a spirit. It's a transmission. And humans are receivers and broadcasters, transceivers. And you get these minds locked in, hypnotized by the television, hypnotized by the culture, and they get brought into this. And again, even if you don't believe in this, I'm telling you before anybody else told you that Silicon Valley believe they're going to live forever and be gods, and they're building an AI world system that you will worship, that will interface with all your brains and take control of your consciousness. And now Elon Musk comes out 6 months ago and says, I've been at the world government meetings. Almost all the other billionaires want a world government. They want to reduce the population. They want to dumb you down. They want to take total control of you and your family. And beware people that worship AI gods. This way leads to total destruction. Oh, it's in the news every day. ABC News. DJ describes demonically possessed partygoers at a rave where man died from unknown drug. And here's the thing. The ancients would always start using this stuff, and it would be love, it would be science, it would open them up. But always, 100 years later, there'd be a black pyramid, and they'd be chopping people's hearts out, or they'd be burning kids on to bail. They'd be burning kids where they'd have a big steel oven with the hands of the god. You take your baby up with a 500-degree thing and watch it fry. You'd fry a baby on a basically outdoor barbecue pit and then eat it. Watch the priest pull a leg off your baby and just, if that was in the Mediterranean. Or if you were in England, Albion, they would come, a lot of times demand the king give up his son. Oh, it's the time, the priest class, we want your son. Oh, we took your other son to be part of the priest class, but no, this son, we're going to slit his throat and bash his brains out and throw him into a peat bog. Or throw him on a bone fire, so you get the term bond fire. And it was a pure exercise of priest taking hallucinogens, then interfacing with entities that said, I will direct you. Every culture, Asians, Africans, Mesoamericans, every culture starts taking hallucinogens and then starts worshiping entities that demand blood. And once you've taken it enough times, ladies and gentlemen, just like Substance D in PKD's Scanner Darkly, they've got a government rehab program to take you in. It's the university. And now you're a programmable zombie they control. Now, if your will is very strong and you can control it, they'll say, oh, you're in the priest class. But just like Faust, at the end of the day, you will be destroyed. Now, the time is short. That's why I'm giving you the secrets, folks. These are the deepest secrets of Silicon Valley, the Luciferians, all of them. I'm going to get into more worldly issues and more temporal things happening now when we return. I'm Alex Jones, and this is an emergency transmission.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
I want to tell you guys the big enchilada.
Okay, let's hear
Please,
it.
the big
Do I have to
enchilada.
wear these headphones?
What do you know about aliens? Are aliens real?
This is really big. So
Okay.
the question is, what does Donald Trump know about aliens?
Oh yeah, what does he know now, right? Because he's in the office.
I don't know.
That would be the first thing I did. I would run to the office and I'd go, "Who's got the alien documents? Who's got them?"
All right, let me give you my best
Please.
deep research approximation. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to give you the big enchilada. Joe, there
Yes.
are aliens in this room right now.
For real?
Yeah, you're not of this world, bro.
Me?
You're the alien.
Oh, wow! I didn't know.
Well, here's what the elite believe. And let me be very clear because the media will take this out of context. I only go with what I can prove.
Oh,
And-
thank you.
And people can't even handle that. There's armies. We're fighting a pedophile conspiracy. But beyond that, it's a vampire conspiracy in that they are interdimensionally sucking the essence of our youth.
Right.
And they believe they're possessed by an off-world entity.
They do?
Yeah, and Joe, I've been on air 22 years. I don't get into aliens, metaphysical, religion, any of that. I've studied the elite, and I've also communicated with a lot of the top people. And if you want to know, I will actually break down right now the best knowledge right now on what's happening on the planet.
What's happening?
The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, all. There's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected and gravity's bleeding in to this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up in the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our best minds and build some type of breakaway civilization where they're going to merge with machines, transcend, and break away from the failed species that is man, which is kind of like a false transmission because they're thinking what they are is ugly and bad, projecting it onto themselves instead of believing, no, it's a human test about building us up. And so Google was set up 18, 19 years ago, I knew about this before it was declassified. I'm just saying I have good sources, that they wanted to build a giant artificial system. And Google believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us that are organic creatures so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball. But the big secret is once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals, as we know, and a true 2.0 in a very bad way, hive mind consciousness with an AI jacked into everyone, knowing our hopes and dreams, delivering it to us, not in some PKD wirehead system where we plug in and give up on consciousness because of unlimited pleasure, but because we were already wired in and absorbed before we knew it by giving over our consciousness to this system by our daily decisions that it was able to manipulate and control into a larger system. There's now a human counter-strike taking place to shut this off before it gets fully into place and to block these systems and to try to have an actual debate about where humanity goes and cut off the pedophiles and psychic vampires that are control of this AI system before humanity's destroyed.
How'd the pedophiles get in control of
Well,
AI?
the pedophiles at a whatever level,
rule.
the devil, whatever you want to call it, this interdimensional thing that gives them advanced off-world technology, the fallen one that's not of this world, is giving them advanced knowledge
What
on
are
how
you
to
talking-
construct
no, no,
these
what is-
systems
what is
that have already
that?
been used before on other populations.
What?
Is that Satan?
But what are you
That's
talking
Satan.
about?
That's Satan.
Just you're
well,
saying
Satan
something
becomes
insane.
something that the stupid preacher tells you about, who's totally controlled, or something you read about on in the news or TV.
Right.
But this is an interdimensional force that wants to influence us to build something that absorbs us and kills us, rather than the divine free will we're given to build something much better that empowers the species. So the species is now making a decision
Where are you
about
getting
its
this
entire
from?
future.
Where are you getting this from?
That's what it is.
But where are you getting it from?
I know from looking at all the data, researching it, studying it, watching the enemy. That's the big decision that humanity has now got before us. You get someplace finally in deep research where it's what every culture already said, what everybody already knew, what they're telling you in movies like Prometheus, what the elite admit in the New York Times they believe in. Everything they're doing points towards this, and then you read their own writings. They believe we're this ugly, fallen, ugly species. We're all need to be killed. They're the rich billionaires who are better than us, and they're going to merge with machines and become gods and go to the next level. Here's what I'm telling you. The elite literally believe interdimensionally they were given this information and then built it. And here's the thing. They built it, and Google admits, even in data dumps to Wired 2 years ago, that they're building an AI that will end human consciousness, free will, and take over, and the next species will rise out of that. They built it. There's a centralized system of what they're building that isn't naturally occurring.
Who is that?
I mean, if you actually read what all the globalists say, they are getting not off-world, but interdimensional communications to then build this system that we see lowers our IQ, makes us live less. All the studies show screen time, all the computers lowering IQs,
Right.
lowering fertility,
But
lowering our health.
When you're talking about the elites and interdimensional signals that they're receiving that are telling us to lower our IQ, you can't just say that.
We need proof.
Okay, let me give you proof.
That sounds so crazy, by the way.
What I'm telling you is that the globalists admit a lot of this. It's in a lot of their white papers, a lot of their reports. They believe they're going to become gods. The rest of us are profane and
Right,
don't
but
get
all that
to.
shit about interdimensional beings, giving them all the data.
They get the technology they believe from a frickin' other dimension. That's what they believe. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's real. CNN's going to have me up here all clipped together.
No,
If you look at this, that's what I'm telling you. I don't believe it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, studying what the establishment believes, none of them are atheists. They all believe they're getting interdimensional stuff. So if you go back to Galton and Wedgwood and Huxley, if you go back to Darwin, he had an hallucination and believed he was given all this stuff from like demons. Darwin wrote this. These letters are public. You can read these online. They were all part of a secret breeding program where the British thought they would have like this superhuman if they bred these 6 families together to like create all this. Is like mainline British history. This is
Right.
like this is known in the
Okay.
whole eugenics history. Galton, who's related to all these other guys, in the 1850s, he starts having these ideas, and he says there's a double helix, which is the snakes for science and medicine. And he said, we're going to discover the keys and the building blocks to life. And he said it's going to be called biometrics, and we'll track everybody by reading their genetics. This is what Hitler freaked out about and picked up. So the media and the liberals give you this one thing, origin of the species, like, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. It's super heavy galactic stuff. They give this to you. This is only one little boiled down BS they want you to have. You go to what these guys really wrote. They were like intermarrying and involved in wicked seances and channeling and all this weird ass crap. And then they envisioned, okay, there's a double helix, DNA discovered it. Okay, biometrics. Okay, world government. Okay,
Right.
computers. Okay, atomic weapons. Give me the equations. And they were like all then like going to other scientist meetings and go, we believe there's a program where you take different matter together in isotopes and it'll cause an explosion. They were like given either humans are super advanced and already had this knowledge from somewhere else in our genetics, or it was given off world. But humans like have all this data compacted and compressed, ready like programs. There's an open rebellion against the criminals that hijacked our government. And so we overthrew the globalists and Obama, and now we're just overthrowing their whole system. There's a huge war going on. It's beautiful. We are kicking their ass on every front.
Introducing Cellforce by InfoWars Life. Cellforce focuses on mitochondria efficiency and protection. Mitochondria produce over 95% of your energy. They are your body's cellular engines. Cellforce helps promote your cellular energy production by supporting mitochondria, much like a cellular engine overhaul. Because when your mitochondria don't run at 100% efficiency, then they start producing reactive oxygen species. Top scientists agree that aging is most likely caused by cellular damage, resulting from these reactive oxygen species. The antioxidants found in Cellforce are some of the most powerful available on the market. The stronger the antioxidant, the better its ability to scavenge for these reactive oxygen species and other free radicals. Boost, protect, and adapt with CellForce from InfoWars Life. Head to InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.